Hello guys, welcome to another vlog from Slovakia. So today I'm gonna show you the nature around my hometown Namestovo, where my dad lives, and then we're gonna travel to Nitra, which is more south, where my mom lives. So in Namestovo we're lucky to live quite short distance from nature. It takes around 10 minutes to get to the forests. But I noticed that deforestation is also a problem here. There is also illegal logging like anywhere else, and people cutting woods to make place for pastures for animals and also for buildings. And even though it's also the end of the March, there is still snow here, which is not unusual. I've seen snow here even in May. And there is a chance to see deer in this area, so hopefully we're gonna see one today. So once I was walking on this exactly same road and I heard a deer barking, so I didn't know before that deers bark to kind of scare the predators. And here luckily we spotted a deer, so it's pretty unusual, especially if you're with somebody else and you're talking. So I guess he didn't notice us and he's just eating the grass here. And it's also interesting that the deer sometimes go closer to the city because there are no hunters. Because if you go deeper in the woods there'll be more hunters, so they're always gonna be more safe near the town, even though there might be dogs barking, but they kind of learn how to live with that. So of course I'm against hunting. Who would want to shoot and kill such an amazing animal just living its life here in the nature? So many hunters said that the reason for killing deer is because they're overpopulated. But what damage is deer doing to environment? It's just eating grass and minding its own thing. Even if there are 1,000 deers around here, they would not do any considerable damage here. People are overpopulated and doesn't mean that we have to shoot people. So that the logic is just so wrong, and I think hunters have some mental issues in their personal life, and hunting and killing innocent creatures is just the way to deal with their issues. And now imagine that instead of taking video of this deer, I would just shoot it in between the eyes and it would just fall down. So even the meat eaters would be outraged. So that's one hypocrisy where I found the meat eaters, many of them are actually against hunting, and if you kill animal like this they would be so outraged, but at the same time they still contribute to killing of cows, chickens, pigs. So if you're consistent in your morals, then you should have no problem with killing animals like this. So I'm recording this from our flat in Namestovo, and you can see it's snowing again. So that's one of the reasons why I like to move more south in the tropics or warmer climate, because here in Namestovo it's pretty much cold most of the year. Even in September the temperatures can go to zero. But summers are on the other hand nice to go to the mountains. So the patch of snow in the front is actually ski lift and it's still working. And here you can see the original forest here. So you can see the mix of the leafy and the spiky trees. So there are not many original forests left because people just cut them mostly for woods for burning or to create pastures for animals. But the problem is, if you replant only the spiky trees which grow the fastest, it's also susceptible to strong winds. And here you can see the most popular attraction in Orava, the Orava Castle, which is built on a steep rock. And here is a hill Hoch, which is around 1600 meters, and it's located near Dolny Kubin town, where my grandmother lives. And this is a view from my grandmother's flat. And these snowy mountains in the front is Malafatra mountains. And here we are passing the Donovali mountain pass, which is a popular skiing center, and we are heading to Nitra to visit my mom. And here we are already in Nitra, visiting the Nitra castle. So you can get to the castle from different sides, and we are going from the parking here and around up the stairs, and there is also this cave which we wanted to explore, but it seems like people use it as a toilet like anywhere else. And here on the left side you can see Hill Zobor, which is popular for hiking and mountain biking. And as you can see, this castle was reconstructed. So you can see the layers of rocks, they are much older than the others. So I think this castle before was mostly ruins, but they reconstructed it to this current level. Especially the upper part, I think, is the newest reconstruction. So after exploring the outside of the castle walls, we decided to go inside and check what's there, because last time we were here it was already closed. So here we got a view of the Nitra city. So here on the right under the castle, is the outdoor swimming pools that are only used in the summer. Nitra is fourth largest city in Slovakia with around 80,000 people. And you know, I don't like big cities mainly because of traffic. So for me, I prefer smaller towns with easy access to mountains and nature without being stuck in the traffic. The core of the castle is St. Emmeram's Cathedral with the bishop's residence with several different parts. The oldest surviving part is the Romanesque church of St. Emmeram from the 11th century. The other two parts of the cathedral are the original Gothic upper church from the 14th century and the lower church from the 17th century. The originally Gothic bishop's palace got its presence from late Baroque appearance in the 18th century. The first fortified center on the castle hill is dated to Bronze Age, 1600 BC. In the 1st century BC, the hill was settled by the Celts. After its destruction, the location was abandoned until early Slavic period, 7 to 8 centuries. and at least from the turnover of the 8th to 9th centuries, it was permanently occupied by the Slavs. In the first half of the 9th century, the top of the hill was protected by the wooden palisade. In the second half of the same century, the Slavs built massive rampart made of two outer distal walls, thickness 2 times 3 meters, with an internal timber structure filled with earth. The original rampart was destroyed before early 11th century. The castle was built in the 11th century on the place of an earlier fort. So there are more parts of the castle and cathedral that we didn't explore, like this tower over here, but it was already the closing time, and I think some parts you can only visit during the summer time. And here you can see a picture from 2002, so it was just ruins overgrown with bushes, and look at it now. So they got a huge donation from European Union, and they basically reconstructed the whole castle. Look at a picture from 1998 and look at a picture today. It's totally different. So some ruins unfortunately don't get such donations and are left overgrown with bushes, and you're never gonna see them. Especially small castles that are more outside of the towns, they are pretty much forgotten. So they received almost 700,000 euros for repair from Liechtenstein, Iceland and Norway. So quite lots of money to rebuild this castle. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this short vlog showing my hometown Namestovo and Nitra, where my mom lives. There are more exciting vlogs coming up, snowboarding in Austria with my family, so stay tuned for that. And for now, stay healthy and stay adventurous!